then tons of heartache, because you begin to lose a grip on what's important. You begin to lose a grip on your edge, or what I'm saying. You begin to lose your edge on moving ahead, on growing, on giving more. And when you start to lose your edge, guys, I'm telling you, right, you begin to digress, right? So when you start to digress in life, right, and this happens, whether you're in physical great shape, mental dexterity is up. When you start to, when you stop learning, or you stop growing, or beginning that feeling of being uncomfortable, pushing yourself to your limits, when you start to feel that you need to retire, right, you need to pull back on the reins, you need to relax, you start to digress. And I don't care what field you're in, and I don't care what you're doing. You have to always be the individual taking on new challenges. You always have to be the individual forcing yourself to grow, forcing yourself to learn and understand more. And in order to understand more, what do you have to do, guys? You have to get around people who know more than you, people who have grown more than you, people who have that level of understanding that you're not there yet. Okay? Like I tell people all the time, if you're in a room of people and you're the smartest person in the room, guys, you are in the wrong room. You're making a big mistake, man. Find another room of high achievers and get around that group, and so you can continue to grow, right? And you can continue to achieve higher levels. Now, when I'm saying higher levels, guys, I want you guys to understand this. I do not mean money. Money is not the higher level. Money is a tool, and the more you have that tool, the more value you can give, okay, as far as that tool is concerned, because you can do more things charitable wise, give it to people who can't grasp some other concepts, but you can help them out financially, help them to where they're at in their place, so they get to a level of comfort, so then they can begin to learn the true lessons of growth, right? Because the true lessons of growth aren't going to be accepted by people if they're at a poverty level, right? If they're totally broke and they don't have 2 dimes to their name, then guess what, guys? They are not going to be susceptible, or they're not going to be able to take in some of the knowledge that you're talking about, because they're in survival mode. When people are in survival mode, right, they're grasping at straws a lot of times, right? They're just grasping, just trying to make a living, trying to put food on the table, trying to keep their bills paid, trying to keep a roof over their head. That's the things they're trying to do at this level, guys. So, but once you're out of that level, right? Because sometimes when you're in that level, you may fall into a angry arrogance, as I like to say, right? And that angry arrogance is basically, you're mad because you're in a situation that you're in, and you don't realize it is because of the decisions that you made in your life, right? So you made certain decisions in your life, and you're in a particular point in life, but the fact of the matter is that because you haven't risen to a next level, you don't understand about the decisions you made and how they got you there. And so when you don't understand how you got to the places you're at in life, now you begin that point of where you start to place blame. You start to point fingers. This is because of this person, because of that person. It's because of the government, It's because of my children. I had too many children. It's because of my ex-wife, my ex-girlfriend, And so you begin the blame game. And when you're beginning the blame game, and you're going through the point in life where you're just blaming everybody for everything that has happened to you, what you usually do is you learn nothing. You learn nothing, and not only do you not learn anything, you begin to push away people. Hey, how's it going, guys? You begin to push away people. That's why I love Puerto Rico. It's so beautiful. You begin to push away people, right, who are more likely to help you grow, more likely to help you to achieve the life that you want. And so you have to constantly, guys, remain humble, right? Remain humble to the point of where you know now that it is not that you know everything, right? Or that you're at that level of where you got excellent knowledge. No, it's not that. It's the fact that you're at that level that you know so much that you realize that you know nothing. See, that is the change, right? That is the switch that you got to make in order to have the life that you want. Remaining humble to the point of where no matter who you talk to, it is going to be a lesson to be learned there, right? I don't care whether you're talking to a person holding a sign up on the street asking for change, you can learn a lesson from him, all right? And I don't care whether it's the CEO of a corporation, right? He doesn't get any more respect for what he does than the guy on the street, okay, trying to figure out life. I can learn a lesson from each and every one of them, guys. And when you begin to go through life as a student, right, always learning, always remaining humble, always realizing that anytime somebody is speaking, there's a possible lesson that it can be pulled out of that. Now you begin to grow. Now that is when the good times come, guys. The good times come when you realize that anytime you hear something and somebody's talking, you can pull a lesson out of it, right? And now realize this, guys, as Abraham Lincoln said, you could learn from anybody. Most of the time, it's what not to do, right? And that is why I wrote my book, Top 25 Mistakes, and I'm pushing my message of the second half is teaching the first half is to have a better life through transparency, right? When you begin to be transparent and you start telling people, hey, listen, don't do that. I made this mistake, right? What happens is that they see you at a different level, at a different mindset, right? You're no longer a poser on Instagram, you know, or Facebook trying to show people this miraculous life. You're not doing that, right? You are now the individual who was at their level, and now you're trying to bring it up here to the next level to help them achieve the life that they want. I mean, this, guys, this is like the golden ticket that I'm giving you guys here. This is the golden ticket that I'm giving you guys here. And once you understand, right, that if you bring yourself down to people's level and begin to, how you doing today? Excellent. When you bring yourself down to people's levels, okay, you can now reach more people. And isn't that the idea in the first place, right? I like this lesson, and I'm not a extremely religious person, but I'm gonna tell you something, guys, right? If Jesus, right, in the Bible, the Son of God, would not have humbled himself to speak to the slaves, he would have never got his message out there to reach as many people as possible. That's right, to reach billions, right? To reach billions with his message, all because the 66 books in the Bible, they're about humbling yourself, right? So that people can receive your message. Humbling yourself so that people can receive growth. Humbling yourself so they can understand. Because a lot of times people have blocks, right? You know, when it's a kid, right? You're a kid, right? And you're younger. And an adult is talking to you, and they're talking to you about responsibilities that you haven't learned yet, responsibilities that you don't know about yet, right? And they're talking to you about it. As a kid, it's so difficult for you to understand what they're talking about. Like, what are you talking about? You know, you're so boring, you're so this, you're so that. And it's because the adult is talking to them as an adult, right? They're talking to them as someone, as if they understand, okay, all of the experiences that adult has had in order to understand where they're at right now and the level of their life, right? So now, here's the deal. The same thing goes in everything else. In everything else, it is no different than a parent-to-child relationship. If you're talking to your child, you have to talk to your child in the manner in which they understand you. You can't talk to them in adult language. You can't do it, guys. So the reason you can't do it is because they block it out. Because their frontal lobe isn't developed to the point of where they have had those experiences and understandings that you have had, so they can't grasp the concepts, right? Because in life, right, in reality, it's all about grasping concepts. People begin to understand you when they grasp the concept of what you're talking about, like in math, geometry, chemistry, algebra, whatever it is, right? When you finally understand the formulas, the concepts, the strategies on why you're doing these formulas, then you begin